Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Exploring DC, where we take a piece of DC and explore it with you. I'm your host, Josh. With me, as always, are my two co hosts, Jackson and Jalen. How are we?
We're great, man. We are
Yeah.
great. How are you guys?
I'm refusing to engage in this podcast until Jalen apologizes for the comment he made about my hair before we started.
Why are we bringing up old stuff, Jackson? Come on, man.
Old stuff, and it was 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
It's old now.
There's going to be someone binging this, and they will have ended the last episode with me having been extremely angry. And now they're going to start this, and here I am again. Don't I just look like a grumpy bitch?
Just don't hold hate in your heart, Jackson.
I don't hold hate in my heart. I really don't. It's
Yeah.
just Jalen tries to put hate in my heart.
Okay.
But Jalen, you can't bring down my spirits too much because I have ice cream. So fuck you.
what flavor ice cream?
Yeah,
We're
I was
eating
about to ask
cookies and
that.
cream today, or cookie dough. Sorry.
I would like cookie dough if it wasn't. I feel like it's too much vanilla sometimes, and they don't give you enough of the other stuff.
This one has enough of the other stuff.
Okay, but have
Did
you
you
ever
make
had that
it?
with cookie dough where it's like
Yes,
too much vanilla?
absolutely. You need chocolate and cookie dough like in every bite. You know,
Yes,
if you're not getting it in every bite, what's the fucking point?
exactly.
That's a
I'm also
scam.
I'm also like not a vanilla ice cream person. I'm like, give me chocolate or give me strawberry or something like that.
No, I'm the type of guy that goes to an ice cream shop and I'll order like chocolate ice cream with brownies and hot fudge,
Yes. Hmm.
and then I feel sick after, but it's worth it
No,
because
but
it's
it's
good
worth
shit.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's worth it.
I'm good. Um, Listeners, we did a episode a few maybe a month ago, a month and a half ago about what was the one we had you on for, Giancarlo?
Was it for all seasons? Superman?
Yes, it was for all
Was
seasons,
that it?
another comic. But when we were on that, you had mentioned that you were a big fan of this Mr. Miracle run that we're going to cover today. And so we were excited to have you back. So welcome
Yes.
back. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to talk about this book.
Yeah.
I've been excited to talk about
Do you have any strong opinions on Jackson's haircut today before we get started?
it. No, it looks fine. I
Yeah.
would never talk bad about his haircut ever, unlike other people. Apparently, allegedly.
That's the right answer.
Someone's trying to get brownie points. Okay.
Now we talking.
And fuck Jalen Singleton. Anyways, let's go.
Anyway,
Wow.
so Mr. Miracle came out from 2017 to the beginning of 2019. Synopsis here: Scott Free tries to balance his personal life and work through his extensive trauma while also fighting in the ongoing war between New Genesis and Apocalypse. Written by Tom King, who is very involved with DC right now. He wrote Woman of Tomorrow, which is being adapted into the upcoming
Yep.
Supergirl film. He's working on Lanterns. He's wrote for plenty of different things: Batman, Wonder Woman, Vision, and with on the Marvel side of things, and is very both acclaimed and controversial, I would say, in a
Yeah,
lot of
so he was
things.
also not only like heavily
Yep.
involved in DC Comics, but also heavily involved in the war in Iraq. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah. ex CIA counterterrorism agent, which I sent you that picture to that group
That's
chat.
so funny. That is
The,
so funny.
the DC like wiki for Tom King is like former employers, Marvel, DC Studios, and the CIA.
CIA.
uh, yeah, it's interesting because it says like when he was writing this book in particular, which we could talk about, that he drew from his experiences over there. So maybe there's some positives in his writing, but also like it kind of sheds a negative light when you think about like what he probably did
Yeah.
over there. Art here by Mitch Gerads, I think is how you say his last name. He's worked with Tom King on a lot of stuff. They did Strange Adventures together. They've also worked on Batman. They did Heroes in Crisis, a lot of stuff. Incredible art, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
And let's just dive right in. Giancarlo, what about this book really speaks to you off the dome?
Um, I think I always like loved comics as when I was younger, but this was like the first one I bought with my own money.
Yeah.
Back in I don't know when I got this. But yeah, I bought it with my own money just because I heard good things about it, and I don't know. I just this is the most different thing I've read from a DC book to that point, so it just stuck with me a lot.
Did you read it as it was coming out, or did
There's-
you get the collection of it?
I have the collected edition.
Ooh, I
I
like
love,
that.
but no, I read it all together. Not to flex, also signed by Tom King himself. Signed
Oh,
the book.
nice.
That's awesome.
There
It
you
was
go.
cool.
Do we have the
but,
same copy?
You guys
That was
might.
wait. I have the. I wish I had like the new one, like the collected edition.
Oh, okay.
I think this came out like. Yeah, I think this is like the regular one. I didn't get like the crazy hardcover one because I don't have bread like that. But
Right.
maybe in the future.
Yeah. So, Jackson and Jalen, did you guys have experience with this one? Because this was completely fresh for me.
Nope.
No?
I didn't even know he was an escape artist. That's how little I knew about Mr.
Oh,
Miracle.
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know his name was Scott Free, but that's maybe the best name. Like Jack Kirby, like that's the best thing he's ever contributed is naming this dude Scott Free. That's so fucking funny.
Scot-free.
Yeah, but
Ja-
yeah, no, I didn't. I mean, this comic was always like really critically acclaimed, and I was familiar with Mr. Miracle and Big Barda specifically from Justice League Unlimited and Batman: The Brave and the Bold, in which they were like they didn't have huge roles in either of those shows, but they were big enough to where like you knew what
You remember
who
them.
they were. Yeah, exactly. You remember them. And this is kind of like Jackson. The first time that I was touching this comic, and man, bro, it definitely tugs, which I'm excited to get into, like how this comic made you guys feel.
Did you
yeah.
just say tugs?
Yeah,
It
it tugs at the
tugs, bro.
heartstrings. How it tugs at the heartstrings. What?
Heartstrings.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. You're
yeah.
talking about the heartstrings. All right.
See, Jackson. Yes. Get your mind out of the gutter, dude.
Nah, dude, I'm just gonna like undermine you every chance I get this podcast episode.
I
Just for
bet.
like vengeance for last week. It's really what you deserve. But anyways,
Yeah. No, this was my
you got us so off track, Jalen. Let's get back on track.
this was
Yeah,
my
you're
first
right, you're
experience with it too. And I'll take it one step further. I knew like jack shit about the New Gods, period, besides like Dark.
I knew the dudes from the Snyder movies and like
Yeah.
some of the other, like Dark Side Decide. They pop up in Justice League comics sometimes, but
Yeah. But a lot of it, like, I kind of knew base stuff about Orion and Big Barda and Granny Goodness, but I like didn't know a lot of what was going on with the war and all that
Oh,
stuff. And this was
okay.
really good for
Before
that.
we get started, I need to walk back something I said in a previous episode.
Yeah.
I said that the designs
Okay.
of Apocalypse and all of that in the Snyder movies weren't that bad. I would like to formally retract that statement, having read this.
Yeah, they're lame.
I will stand by the Dark Side one. I don't mind that, but the other one, like especially like the side, I don't know
Yeah, they look
what
like
was going on
sludge,
there.
bro.
Can I ask you guys a question before we get deeper into this? Just because, like, obviously, Mr. Miracle and like all the new gods, Dark Side Decide, they're all Kirby creations, right? I'm curious to hear what you guys think is the best adaptation of Jack Kirby's art style in live action. I have an answer for this, but I'm curious to hear y'all's take.
Ooh,
Based on the New Gods or based
in
on
live
any of this
action.
stuff?
No,
Yeah.
just based on anything.
I'm trying to think of what
Uh,
other, besides like Fantastic Four and stuff.
Low key, I think I would say fantastic for just for right now. I mean, just because
Nah,
I would
y'all are
probably,
wrong.
yeah, but see, I would probably have to like really comb through his like works and stuff to truly.
The answer is Eternals.
The answer is not Eternals, bro.
It
Answer
is
is
Yeah.
absolutely fucking Eternals, dude.
Are you wait no Jackson? Are you serious? Are you like actually not
Yes.
playing?
100% serious. I think that movie captures the aesthetics of Jack Kirby's art better than anything else that's fucking tried.
So you
Fantastic
think
Four is
that?
close, but
So what? I mean, not to get too off track, but what about Eternals does it better than First Steps? I'm just curious. I haven't seen
I
this
would
take
argue
before, so I'm
that
just trying to.
Eternals has a. I would say maybe Fantastic Four is better costuming, but
Okay.
I would argue Eternals has a much stronger visual presentation.
Interesting. Interesting. What do
And
That's
I
you?
think that it
valid.
looks more Kirby-esque. It captures that cosmic side of Kirby's art
Yeah.
better than any. I mean, lots of other things have tried and I think failed horrifically at doing that. But anyway, my point being that Kirby's art style is something that like often isn't really adapted very well into
Yeah.
live action. A lot of people have tried, and I don't think many have succeeded. Uh, which makes this a very interesting case too, because like this is obviously like a modernization of a Kirby story, which I haven't read. I plan on going back and reading New Gods soon. If this comic accomplished anything, it got me really interested in these characters and just some of the lore.
Yeah.
Um,
I will bring up one thing. The way and I mean obviously you guys are very familiar with the way that Kirby writes. Those New
mhm.
Gods comics, they are like especially the ones from the 70s and beyond.
Oh, I'm sure
They
it's
are
weird.
that's the thing is I won't even say they're weird. They're like dense.
Oh,
Like
yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
like very much like you really have to kind of be locked in when you're reading and they may take like multiple reads, to
I
fully
mean
understand what
that's
he's
kind
trying
of
to
like a
say.
some of the older Thor comics are that way too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even like with this one, it kind of like we understand a lot of what's going on, but there are certain
Hmm.
things where on a reread of Mister Miracle, you're definitely gonna pull, I guess, deeper. It's definitely gonna resonate deeper on multiple rereads. Especially certain aspects like the, you know, unreliable narrator side of
Yeah,
things, which I love, 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 love that this book
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But you're right, Jackson. This is kind of like a modernization, and that was the first thing that really stuck out to me was Mitch Gerads' art.
hmm
Like, I did not expect this one to be so dark. I didn't kind of know what I
yeah.
was
I
getting
didn't
into.
either. I didn't. It took me a little bit off guard when I realized that this is like an adult-oriented comic.
Yeah. And what I loved about it is that
Yeah.
you were seeing very like fucked up things throughout the
Hmm.
entire book, but all these characters have the most like bright and colorful costumes. And it'll be like the scene where it's was it Calabac and Scott are negotiating over like the war
Yeah,
and about like, stopping things and trees. And the table is like literally being held up by people in chains.
People.
And then
I
that
know
guy
it's
gets
Oh
crazy.
my
thrown.
god, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just such
So crazy.
a crazy contrast of like colors to just like mortifying
Yeah,
things happening that I really, really liked. I thought it really sold the point of kind of like how dark things are, but even like how much it's normalized to them. Where they said that like Holocaust is like a household term.
yeah,
You know, it very much sold the severity of like apocalypse and the new gods and all of that I
yeah.
really liked. Um, yeah. So the other things that I really appreciated, one is that you immediately kind of get brought in, like caught up to
Yeah.
everything going on. I thought that was done very well because that was my biggest concern going into this was that I was going to be lost.
And that, if I might add, that's something he also does really. Honestly, I think this is an interesting companion piece to Woman of Tomorrow in general because I think they're both kind of doing similar things in terms of like taking a DC character with a very complicated backstory, streamlining it, modernizing it, and maybe skewing it a bit more adult in the process. Uh, I think that that's something he does really well here, as well as Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, he really knows how to
Yeah.
strip it back to its core elements, and I thought the intro for starters was like I was immediately like, okay, I know exactly what's going on. I know the vibe of everything going on, and I'm ready to like kind of explore things, even though I was still having to absorb a lot of information. I
Yeah,
don't know,
because
Giancarlo, did you have a lot of experience with the new gods and stuff prior to this, or
Um Not a lot. I would say like stuff from animated things,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
Justice League and Superman cartoons. But
Mhm.
I knew who Mr. Miracle was, but not that much.
Yeah.
So the intro definitely helped going into it. And
Mhm.
then going from all the Kirby-esque like flashbacks to him bleeding out on the bathroom floor is a very strong. I'm trying to think of the word. It's a very powerful way to start a book. If that makes sense, but not really. The opening just works on a lot of levels.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I guess like coming into this book knowing who Mr. Miracle and Big Barda were for, I knew a good portion of their comic book history. They have always kind of been portrayed as the light parts of Apocalypse and of that whole New Gods era, because the New Gods are they mainly are like ensemble books. Like they are, it's not like a team or anything like that. It's about a society on this war torn planet that has literally always been at odds, so they have always been the lighthearted side of this world, and seeing this book completely turn that on its axis, and it's like it made it feel like so real and so relatable, especially with the opening of like him having tried to kill himself. That's powerful, because you don't really see that a lot in like comics, and you don't really see the superhero, the person, the very thing that people are looking up to, going to those types of lengths. But it just kind of, I guess, hammers home like that theme that's done so well in this book of like, I am the escape artist. I am the probably the most, you know, I am the best escape artist in DC Comics. Like better than Batman, better than, whoever else you could pit against Mr. Miracle. He is the best. And he can't escape the one thing that is, you know, hurting him the most, which is life. Even when he wants to, he fails. So it's like it's done so well, man. And when like, that's kind of why I say like the rereads of this book are gonna hit so hard, especially like reading some of these lines again, reading some of these themes about living and about what it means to get over your PTSD and to get over your trauma. Like it legitimately, to me, brought tears to my, even like, Giancarlo was saying, like seeing him bleeding out on the floor, and then instantly, opening with that whole thing of like, I tried to kill myself, when he was talking about it on the talk show. Man, something about that just felt so bleak, and it hit so hard. It was done so well, man.
Yeah. Even the way they kind of just set up his life of having to deal with all these
Mhm.
expectations, whether it's, the expectations of him as an escape artist, like you said, or him like having to be called back into this war and he's immediately become a general and then eventually he
Yeah.
becomes high father, or even his family expectations. Like there's a really nice contrast where you keep seeing it cut back to like his normal everyday life, and then it cuts to
Yeah.
the crazy shit he's doing in the war, and you can see that he's kind of in like his own depressive rut, but he has to keep going forward.
Hmm.
And that's like a very I imagine a very relatable theme for a lot of people of just like kind of getting stuck in that loop, even if there
Yeah.
are positive things in your life.
Yeah. Yeah, because like I think the crazy thing about it is that a lot of people feel like their trauma is a thing of their own making,
Hmm.
and I think that just kind of plays into the art style, man, because the way that the panels are set up, it kind of like resembles bars, almost kind of like a prison. And literally that is what the book is heavily discussing, is you know struggling with, I guess, feeling trapped in that trauma, and him feeling like that is a thing of his own, like it's basically his fault, and like what's sad and what is crazy, a lot of people do feel like the things that they go through, whether it be, drugs, suicide, depression, that is all something that they feel like is a choice that they made that got them to this to that point. um yeah, yeah, so It touches on it well, man. It's just so strong.
It's a very, very
No,
human
it's just
character.
really. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, man.
Yeah, which is ironic because he's not human.
Right.
Yeah, that's
It's
crazy.
it's it's crazy. I there's so many good things in the art that are like subtle about things. I like how he has a mug that just says "I am God."
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah, I
where he
noticed
got
that.
that from. That's just it's such a funny bit. It doesn't have anything to do with like anything else. It just it's there. And
That's another thing.
so
It
that's
it captures humor really well. There's a lot of like really funny bits in this. Like it has a lot of heavy themes, but it's never like overbearing to the point where it's not fun. It actually something I would liken it to, albeit maybe a little bit less humor, is it kind of captures that Matt Fraction Hawkeye energy where it's like, I mean, I would argue that's also a book pretty explicitly about depression, but it has that very sort of dry humor to it that I think this also has.
I think my favorite like underlining joke was Scott always having to wear some graphic
Yeah, yeah,
tee of a
yeah,
superhero. Like I imagine
so
being
funny.
Barda having all these outfits and then Scott just wearing a
yeah,
fucking Flash t-shirt or Green Lantern shirt like he's Sheldon Cooper.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
And
thought that was hilarious.
I would just be like,
Funny.
man, I think it's even crazier because it's in universe. It's not like
Hmm.
they're like real
Yeah.
people. He even
They're
had like
real people
Shazam
he
on.
knows.
Yeah,
No,
Like
yeah,
at the start of the
he
book,
has
he's
a
like, "Yeah,
Booster
I
Gold
just saw
shirt, which
Clark."
is his
Yeah,
butt.
like
it's so
yeah, I
silly.
thought that was very funny.
Oh
Yeah.
man, no, you're right. Like I just think he's an extremely well fleshed out character for only a 12 issue like
Yeah.
limited series. I was very attached to everything going on with him, and I didn't
Hmm.
expect that. I kind of thought I don't know what I was thinking going into this one. I didn't think I would
I had
get
no
that into it.
expectations. Yeah, I didn't again. I didn't expect what I got, but I think that's a good thing. Um, yeah, again, I thought that the way that it captured that like mundane, you know, weirdly how mundane a lot of it was, I thought was really interesting. He's just kind of going through the cycle of okay, he's home with the wife and kids, he's out at the fucking battle doing crazy shit, then he's back at home with the wife and kids, and he's back, and it's just kind of like for like 4 or 5 issues, it's just the same shit over and over again. And I thought that that was really interesting, and even like the repetitive nature of like how the panels are illustrated, where it's just these really stagnant wide shots with like just very little in the way of movement between frames. I thought that was really smart and just played into the narrative quite well.
Yeah, I love how the repetition is good, Jackson, because they hammer home a lot of things over
Yeah,
and over. Like in the
yeah.
beginning, and honestly, throughout the whole book, you see Darkseid is just like the
Hmm.
black
Yeah.
ape, and it
And I
just keeps
like
getting
last week I was
more
kind of
over.
bitching about repetition in Hush, Batman Hush. I didn't have that problem with this one. I thought that any information that was repeated just for the sake of like catching audiences up was done in a way that didn't really bother me. Like
Yeah.
just to put it bluntly.
Well, it wasn't like they were recapping from issue to issue. This is
Yeah.
the nice thing.
They just started off every issue with like, "Hey, this is Mr. Miracle. He's the best escape artist, and here's what he's doing."
Exactly. And I never felt like it was too much. I think the repetition had a purpose, and it
It
was
did absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I loved a lot of the to go back to art. I just loved a lot of the stylistic choices he did here. All of the
Yeah.
static was really cool. I just love the
Yeah.
character models. I think the art style is really. It
Hmm.
reminds me a lot of like Dan Mora and stuff from like modern day
Yeah, I
stuff
can
like
see
that.
that.
And it's the colors are so they just pop really well. I was very drawn into everything. I had kind of a retro
Yeah.
futurist
Yeah.
vibe that
Again, like it did
I really
feel
fucked with.
very like much like a modernization of a lot of what Kirby did.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
was very drawn
I feel like
into
when
it.
you're adapting Kirby, you gotta go all out with that
Oh yeah.
adaptation. Like the
Hmm.
visuals. That's probably why the Snyder stuff where it's like Gray and Jack Kirby should not be in the same sentence because
Yeah.
you look at his art and it's some of the most
Yeah.
colorful things you see. So making all like dark side and decide, and everyone just
Gray and yeah,
monotone isn't really the best idea. Because Mr. Miracle's costume is one of the most colorful looking things I've looked at.
yeah.
But
let me ask, how did you guys feel about the whole Barda relationship? Do you feel like she was well developed and fleshed out here?
I wish she had a little more agency on her own, but
Yeah.
I liked their dynamic a lot.
Yeah, I love her presence, like physical presence compared to him.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. You don't really see a lot of like very larger women being with like a smaller dude. I think it's cool to
Yeah, I
see
like that a lot.
in like the story context.
Yeah, I can definitely see, you know, what Jack is saying about having more agency in the story, but I think it just kind of goes to that whole thing of like, this is so central to Mr. Miracle and his own mental journey, and it kind of is just showing for me I, what role Barda specifically plays into his life and into his own mental health. I mean, even like how certain moments you are kind of wondering if, well, let me just say it this way. There are like moments where it's like Barda just doesn't mention the fact that he tried to commit suicide. You know, it almost seems like she doesn't really care, or you know, like that's not really a point of mine. But it's also a thing too of like, you look at these two and they have always kind of been tied together, you know. Even like when they first met as kids in like a whole dungeon and stuff like that, how they were talking about in the car, where it's like you had people screaming in pain and begging to be free and all this other stuff, and meanwhile you just have them sitting here kind of going through their trauma together, getting trauma bonded, you know, which is I think the whole basis of their relationship is through a trauma bond. And that's why it's so strong at times, but also there are also certain moments where it's like, can you care a little more? Can you, you know, can you, I guess, feel a little bit more empathy in a way? And I think that's done really, really, really well. Low key, I think this made them one of my favorite couples, maybe my number two or three, second or third favorite couple in DC Comics. First will always be Dick and Babs. First will always be Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon. But I think this comic really, really, really elevated that.
Yeah, the issue right before
Barda is
his
so great.
execution sold me on that like crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't actually get executed, but like they have the whole issue where they just kind of like spend time with each other.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
And
yeah,
that's what the show is being promoted with, is that beach scene. So
exactly. I was just about to ask you guys, what was you guys' favorite issue out of this 12 issue run? Because there were a lot of good ones in there, but like, which one stood out to you the most?
That's a
I like
question.
that stretch probably. Those 2 or 3 issues leading up to the execution were really good.
yeah, I loved the when it's going back and forth between the baby and the war,
that was good too.
because I loved the monotony of like the craziness of it. It was very fun to see. But honestly, even issues didn't feel very separate. They all kind of just felt like they flowed into each other really well, which is nice to see from a monthly run.
What about you,
I love the
Giancarlo?
issue. I forgot which number. It's the issue where they decide that they're going to go to New Genesis and try and talk to Orion, and the whole action scene is built around them talking about renovating the condo as they're going through like the most ridiculous things. It's like, yeah, you guys have been saying like
I
the
love the
monotony.
I love the
So
build-in absurdity in that one too.
Yeah, it's
Like,
so
just like,
funny.
oh, Orion will kill you now. like just that robot that's
And they
constantly
just, like,
telling
don't
them like
care.
how they're about to die, and they just don't give a fuck. I thought that was great.
It's definitely a
And
scene
then
that's going
I
to play
love
very
that.
well in the show.
Yeah,
I can just see it right now. They're just mowing through
And
people
then,
talking about the living room.
Oh yeah, dude,
and then just like,
I almost
yeah,
forgot
that's
that
so
they were
good.
getting a show. I really almost forgot they were getting an animated show, but that's
I
yeah.
haven't. I'm
Do
so
we know anything about that?
No, but we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Tom
Okay,
King's involved. That's all we know. That he's that's
likely
it.
story.
Yeah.
Sorry,
But
Giancarlo, what were you saying?
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love the ending of that whole section where she's like, "Oh, we need to add a new room." It's like, "Oh, because we're having a kid," and then when Scott just hugging her is that just their relationship is so real, like compared to a lot
Yeah,
of other
yeah.
DC
I was about to
relationships.
say
It's
I might
weird because they're
actually. Oh, sorry,
ridiculous.
I'll let you finish.
Yeah, no, it's just weird because neither of them are human. Barda is extremely strong. She's towers over Scott, and their whole dynamic is different. But the way they talk and interact with people just feels like the most married couple like I've like read. So like I just care a lot.
Yeah, yeah, and I will say, Jalen mentioned earlier about how like you kind of said that at certain points you didn't you thought she was just a little apathetic towards what he was going through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't totally agree with that point. I'm not gonna lie because I feel like there was a thing where she didn't talk about it as much, but there were all those little moments where there was just that physical intimacy between the two. I'm like even just scenes of them just like her holding him on the couch. Like I thought it was very clear at every turn that she really did care about what he was going through. I just don't know that she was maybe the best at using her words.
Okay.
That's at least the
Yeah.
vibe that I got.
Yeah,
Uh,
for sure.
but I guess kind of to go back to my original point, I wish that was just an aspect of her that got a little bit more development. Like I understand that it's all from Scott's perspective, but I still think she was just slightly underwritten in my opinion. But yeah,
Yeah, no, for sure. Even like I guess the physicality of the two of them, like you said, Jack, like that is in a way, I guess, showing how much she truly cares for
hmm
him because they are formed by trauma. They both have had really hard lives, and even though this story or this run mainly focuses on Scott and his life and his childhood with Granny Goodness and his life on Apocalypse, she also went through some of the same stuff.
yeah,
She was also tortured as a child. So if you do think about it that way, it is a thing of like we're not just gonna sit here and like talk. I may not know how to specifically convey what I'm feeling towards you, but for me, physicality and uh, that aspect of love is how I'm gonna convey how much I truly care about you. And I think that was all conveyed in like episode or not episode, Jesus, in issue number 5. um
Yeah.
and I must say this is like the first time in a while that I've actually cried at a comic, cried because of a comic. And issue number 5 I think just moved me so much because I wasn't expecting. I mean, I thought we were just gonna go straight from the trial to the execution. I didn't expect this to go that deep into their relationship to the point where it's like, okay, we're how would you like to spend our last day together? What would you like to do? And there's like a dread or a bleakness that hangs over that entire issue. But now one of my favorite moments in comics is them talking about doubt and about existence, and about how doubt and existence kind of go hand in hand because a lot of people doubt their own existence, and a lot of people doubt afterlife and religion and all this other stuff. One of the best conversations that I've read in comics, and I think that was the moment for me where I was like, man, like this is incredible. And even now, like it's getting me a little emotional just because it's so well written. And I as a filmmaker, I love stories that question life, that question love, that question intimacy, that question what we do on our in our day-to-day lives, and why, like the reasoning for those things. And for this to truly dive into that with Scott and Barda, and especially for him what life means, not knowing he's about to become a father, but for right now struggling with his PTSD, struggling with um his relationship, struggling with his life, which he feels like he can't escape from, but he partially doesn't want to escape from. Is such a good moment, man. That issue is so good. But Jackson, I saw you had like a moment. What was going on
nah.
there?
I just realized like I was thinking the old time while reading this was like this reminds me of something, and I realized it was BoJack Horseman. which sounds stupid. That sounds
Okay,
stupid if you've never watched the show. If you've
I
seen
haven't
the
seen it.
show,
I should.
you'll
I
probably
should.
know what I'm talking about. But that's what I'm. That's all. Like I was like, it's BoJack Horseman also strikes like a really interesting tone in a similar way that this does. Uh, and I was just thinking about like how this is going to translate. Yeah, that was like there's a really weird side tangent in my head.
Um, I don't know if I have any other big points to talk about here. I would like to touch on that, like how you guys feel about the amount of New God stuff they throw at you, because they throw a lot of like obscure characters and bigger characters. Like you're getting Light Ray and Forager and all
I
this
was
stuff.
chilling.
And I was wondering how that worked for you, if it ever felt like it was just kind of out there or anything like that.
I was chilling. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
you?
Oh, I liked it. I thought it was really
Okay.
cool. My biggest thing, I posted a video to our TikTok about it, but I love the whole full page spread of
Yeah, that
Darkseid
was
eating
great.
that fucking veggie tray,
That was
man.
great. That was awesome.
I
That's what I'm saying, dude. This comic is funny as fuck. Like,
That's the thing that they do with Darkseid and like the Harley Quinn and Kite Man shows, is they
yeah,
just make him
yeah,
do
dead ass.
normal mundane things, and I love seeing that every time, because I imagine he's just like, for the most part, like he would do chill things,
Yeah.
and then he's gonna go kill everyone.
Yeah.
I actually have a question kind of related. Well, it not actually related to the dark side thing at all, but like, what followed with these characters? Like, is Mister Miracle appeared in much else since this? Like, has he popped up or no?
Uh,
The,
that's the
the
thing. It's like, sorry, Jalen. You can.
no, you're good. Go ahead.
Um, from what I've read, because this was like 2017, 2018. Like in Elseworld stuff, they would show up because like you kind of have to because this was so amazing. But like there hasn't been like a Mr. Miracle ongoing, and I haven't read a lot of New God stuff, but I haven't seen him in this. And this, we had talked about the ending, but I don't. It doesn't even. We don't even really know if this is in the main DC universe. So that's really interesting. But
That's a good
I haven't
point.
seen a lot of Mr. Miracle.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about that twist, because it did kind of confuse me. Because you see, like, what's the guy's name in the chair? Metron.
Metron,
Metron.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you see Metron show up towards the end as like Desaad, and then it's kind of revealed that, if I was gathering it right, that Scott has been dead, or like in a different universe. Is that what they were
I think it's
implying?
left kind of open for interpretation, and I
yeah,
really just think
Yeah.
the point though is that Scott doesn't really give a shit what's going on at this point. Like he's
Yeah,
with his wife, he's with his kid, and he's happy. He's done with the war. Like he doesn't really care what the circumstances are. He's tired, he's done, and he's ready to move on. Uh, I guess so. If you're really gonna get like into the geeky shit and like break down what this means in terms of continuity, oh, I don't know.
I
That's my
I
mean,
just
answer.
Metron like shows him. Metron shows him like that splash page is like a DC rebirth because Wally and Barry are there together.
Yeah,
I guess it's
Yeah.
saying, oh, it's something else. He's somewhere else, but
Yeah.
I
If,
don't
if
think
I'm
Tom King cares to explain that.
no,
yeah,
that's exactly my
Which
thing.
is
I don't
fine.
think he gave a shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
that's
point.
that's, that's,
Yeah,
that's that's the whole other thing too, is that like the New Gods, even before this, they were never really a huge part of like DC crossovers and DC comics and Justice League runs and stuff like that. Even though Darkseid was, the New Gods themselves
yeah,
weren't. They were kind of off on their own, doing their own thing,
Yeah,
kind of like the Eternals almost, like just really off doing their own thing. But even I think it is that whole thing of like, this is more than likely a Elseworld story. Like Tom King was probably just writing it because he wanted to do a tribute to like Jack Kirby and even Stan Lee at parts, and all this other stuff that he was just like, I see a good outlet with this character, and I see a way to truly pay homage to Kirby's earlier work, and even like Kirby's life, because I was reading somewhere that Kirby actually, one of his favorite creations was the New Gods, specifically uh Mr. Miracle because he felt like he was kind of speaking about his life and about his experiences through what Mr. Miracle um was saying in, like, comic runs and stuff like that. So I think that is just kind of another thing with the ending of, like, it doesn't matter where he is. It doesn't matter if he's dead or if he's alive or anything like that. I think it is just kind of one of those things of, like, looking deeper and just thinking, like, everybody showing up, all of his traumas, all of his, past mistakes and all that just showing up. And he's more than likely dead, you
That's what
know?
I was thinking.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, I don't even think it really matters. I just think this is such a good story on its own that it could be an Elseworlds, it could be a main timeline thing, just because they're not really crucial to the DC universe, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess I was just curious whether or not
Jalen, you reminded me of
he's
actually.
reared his head again. That's interesting.
What are you about to say, King Carlo?
Yeah. No, you reminded me, just because this book clearly loves Jack Kirby. The moment in this book that made me cry when I read the first time was when it's Barda and Sky. I think it's the issue where it's before he gets executed, where they go and get their hands put in the Walk of Fame, and then Scott sees Jack Kirby's hand imprint, and he puts his hand on it, and his hands are like a little bit smaller than that. I don't know, maybe because like Jack Kirby doesn't have a star or anything on the Walk of Fame. And that like small moment, I don't know why that made me emotional. It's just like,
Yeah, that was nice.
clearly just like, it's for the audience because, like, I don't know what Jack Kirby is, and I mean there's like a lot of references, like their babysitter is just Stanley. Like, that's funny.
Yeah, yeah, like, that's cool. I told you, man, that
Funky whatever his
issue.
name is.
Yeah, Funky Flashman, I think is what it was.
Funky Flash.
Funky
Yeah,
Flash, man.
He's Stanley.
exactly. That issue was just so good, man. Like, all around, it just touched on everything that Mr. Miracle and low key that Jack Kirby stood for. You know.
Bro, I low-key thought Funky
There's
Flashman died before he showed up as the babysitter because he gets the shit beat out of him by, like, Barda right before the execution.
yeah.
And so when he showed back up, I was like, oh, I thought he, like, got his head pounded in.
Yeah.
But the Funky Flashman's probably the most immortal character in the universe. So I'm not even
course.
surprised, man. Yeah, dude, I really loved it, man. It was a great call to
Good read.
tackle this one this week. Big thumbs up. And I lastly want to touch on kind of like media stuff going forward. If you guys remember back in like 2019, Tom King and Ava DuVernay
it's
were
hard
attached.
to forget this.
They were attached to that New Gods movie for a long time. That got canceled around
I didn't
2021.
realize Tom King was attached to this until
Oh
I
yeah,
looked it
yeah.
up the other day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But now with the new regime, James Gunn seems to be like big fan, big buddy of Tom King because he is not only adapting Woman of Tomorrow, which we'll see next year. Also, he's working on Lanterns, which we'll see next year.
Is that
And then
adapting a Tom King?
no, he's just working on the writing staff for it.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah. They're also adapting now his Mr. Miracle run into an animated series. All we know is that he's kind of like showrunning and producing and all of that. I don't know if he's showrunning. I think he's producing, and they have someone else showrunning. But how do we feel about everything with this one? Like how they're gonna adapt it, animation. I don't know. What
need
are
to
our
see
initial
something from
thoughts?
it. I mean, if the animation is anywhere up to par with Creature Commandos, will be good. That's a
Yeah,
great looking show.
Loki,
Yeah.
the animation style that would eat with this is My Adventures animation
yeah.
with
Yeah,
this story.
that would.
That would go.
The first look image gave me a lot of hope. I thought it looked
Wait,
pretty
so was
good.
that? Hold on,
That's dope.
Mr. Miracle. Was that an actual image from? I thought it was just a comic panel when they revealed
No,
it.
that was an image from the show.
It's
Oh, let me
not.
see.
No, they go to the beach, but they're not in costume.
Oh shit, you're right. That is
Yeah.
from the. Oh, cool.
I
So-
like the art style. I
Yeah,
like to
that's
see the
nice.
motion.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
I'm curious who's gonna voice them.
That's true.
Sorry.
That's a big one.
Josh.
No, you're good. I'm also curious about that because I'm sure they're going to cast some bigger names for it. And to play into that, dude, if this is going to be, we just talked about this comic not even being like main continuity. If they want to make this show like part of the DCU or whatnot, then I imagine they're going to cast some people that are going to play them in live
carry
action
over.
at some point.
Yeah,
Especially Big Barda, you want to cast like a larger than life actress, you know, to do that.
Yeah.
Get Katie O'Brien in there.
I was about to say the same thing, bro. Like,
I feel like that's my main fan cast nowadays for like
everybody.
just because I watched that Love Lies Bleeding movie, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I see it.
Oh,
Yeah,
it even has like this image even has like the little glitch. That's fun.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like Scott would be like Andrew Garfield with a beard. You know,
I
like
was
that
thinking like Loki. I'd go with like I'd put Seth Rogen in there.
You think you'd put Seth Rogen in there?
I'd put Seth Rogen.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna play Darkseid.
That would be interesting.
And like I'd probably put like Anya Taylor-Joy as Barda, and then I'd put like Jack Black as Darkseid.
Mm-hmm. And Keegan-Michael Key as Granny Goodness.
Yeah, I'd probably put like Chris Pratt as Decide.
Yeah. No, I get it, man.
Charlie Day as their child.
Yeah. Whoopi Goldberg as Stan Lee.
There you go. Tom Holland as Funky Flashman.
Yeah. Although I am like, do we have any like reference as to when this is supposed to release?
Based on that they have a first look image out, I'm assuming within next year.
Next year? That'd be great. I mean,
would be great.
I know Gunn's been pretty radio silent about this.
Yeah.
But animation
DC
takes a long
animation,
time sometimes.
and they kind of have a bad track record with like keeping up to date with things.
Yeah,
because we did not hear anything about My Adventures or Cape Crusader until like a few months before it was coming out.
Yeah.
After
and
like
I
radio silence.
But I guess back to do you guys think this is mainline? I kind of do.
I think so.
I mean,
yeah, I think so.
It can work with it. Nothing like the ending is open ended, so this could work. Also, Booster Gold's in it a little bit, so and they want him in there. So and Blue Beetle.
It's too compelling of a story to not put it in.
Like those are the only two characters that show up. Yeah,
it's gonna work too well. I think I could just see it so well as like it's gonna be a 1-season show.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be so cool. I'm very excited for it. Now, I do wonder if it's gonna get pushed to 2027 though, just based on the output that they're putting out next year.
What's coming out?
Because we have the two movies.
Lanterns next year.
Yeah, we have Lanterns.
Oh yeah.
We'll probably have the Blue Beetle show, considering they're in production on that. With animating.
That's right. That's coming out too.
We're probably gonna get My Adventures.
Lineup of animated shows.
We might get My Adventures next year. I don't know. I feel like they might have too much stuff, or they might want to just put this one off, especially if they're not close to done to 2027.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't need to come out at a certain point or anything. I don't think. Cool. But yeah, that's all I have to say on that. Big thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up.
Good recommend. Let's get into some other stuff. So, new Peacemaker episode 204. Need I say door? Argus lays siege to Peacemaker's home in search of his quantum unfolding chamber, while Hardcore receives a tempting offer from Flag. Directed here by Peter Sillett, who is, I believe, a new director as well. He has done a lot of TV work. The one movie I found is that he did this movie called Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, which I watched a couple of years ago. It's like Michael Cera, Kat Dennings movie. But I just think it's interesting that the only other two directors so far this season have directed Michael Cera movies, and I was like, okay.
That's cool.
We can talk about this one, but me personally did not have this episode do much for me. I felt like it was kind of just like a setting things up episode.
Yeah. I must say, without some of this casting, there are a lot of things that just wouldn't work. Specifically, Tim Meadows. That whole character would not work without Tim Meadows.
Unless it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's kind of that point falls flat when you bring up the fact that you do have Tim Meadows.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you have Tim Meadows, but like the way that they are able to make such random stuff work is astounding to me.
No, like, that's just like, I'm telling you, Tim Meadows is him. He is one of the best like comedic character actors that we have. Like, he is so fucking good in everything.
Yeah, he's
like,
really
he can say anything and make it funny. Like, even when Economos spits on him and he's like, "What the fuck? What kind of human being spits on another human being? It's just like the cadence he brings to that is just like I was dying. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Tim Meadows takes things that are not funny and makes them like the funniest things you've ever heard. Like he just has such a natural talent.
I love how he
I
says.
love Tim Meadows.
I love how he says "curmudgeonly motherfucker."
Yes, yes.
Dude.
Like, that's the thing. Every line delivery of his is just like pure gold. I like the scene with like. There's not a lot of plot progression in this one, but there were a lot of scenes that I like the scene with Harcourt and Flag. I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
Also, last week I was like being like, "Hey, well, it's interesting that they're not referencing Preacher Commandos." There you go.
There you
They
go.
mentioned it like 3 times in one scene.
You know what they also referenced that I really liked was the finale of season 1 because they set up that whole thing with Peacemaker seeing his dad's visions.
Yeah, I like that they
And
went back to that too.
Adebayo referenced that like she helped him get through it.
Mhm.
I'm curious if they're ever going to reference Goff again.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always thought that they were just going to drop that because how do you keep Goff
Yeah.
alive anyway if you ran out
Yeah,
of
I
the...
imagine Goff is dead.
I'm wondering what his original plans were, if there were any for Goff. I assume they just
Yeah, I
changed.
don't know. But
But
yeah, I mean, I imagine a lot's changed in the past couple years for him.
yeah, and I'm wondering what his original plans were for the
Yeah.
vision of
Yeah,
Ogden
because
there,
like
too.
mostly this feels like exactly what Gunn was going to do with season 2.
Yeah,
Goff not being there or not being mentioned is maybe the one thing that I think he probably changed. But yeah,
right.
I
But
don't
yeah,
mind.
Yeah.
I don't really necessarily mind it.
I really liked it. I liked that Adebayo got led into a lot of stuff that's going on. That was cool. I thought this was a really strong Economos episode.
Mhm.
Steve Agee rocks. Yeah, I don't.
That is
He does.
if I may cut in, that is my one thing.
Yeah,
I feel like Hardcore and Economos are getting a lot, and I just want more for Adebayo and Vidge. Like
I've been wanting more Adebayo this season. I do agree with that, which is why I like this episode because it's probably the most she's gotten to do so far this season, right?
yeah. That conversation that she had with Chris,
Really good.
really, really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
Have we
glad
seen
she's fine. I'm
Vigilante
glad
in
she's getting
costume?
roped into
Or-
the plot a little bit more.
Yeah. Have we seen Vigilante in his costume this season yet?
No.
Or has it just been?
No,
think so.
we haven't seen him in his guy. That's the only thing too, is like I love Adrian. I do. Like he's so funny, but I just want a little bit more. Like a tiny like I get he's just a comedic character, but just give me a tiny bit
Yeah.
more. That's
Yeah.
it. You know, like a fight scene or something that just shows him. I don't know, like getting something.
Yeah. Let him shred some people.
He's still
Exactly.
so
Maybe in
fucking funny though.
those
When he
final
shows up
episodes,
to the
he keeps
cabin
talking.
and he's just excited to see Peacemaker. He has his doors that he bought from Lowe's, and then he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Adebayo." I'm like, bro, this fucking guy. Giancarlo, have you been liking this season?
Yeah, I think this is like maybe this is controversial, but I did not get hooked as much with Peacemaker like as early as people did last season. Like I think it took until like halfway through the season where I was like, I'm definitely in. I'm enjoying the season like a little bit more because I think I like the comedy more this season. I don't know, because I kind of felt like last season was Gunn doing what he usually does, but it was way more like childish, which sometimes it wasn't as funny as I thought it could be. But I kind of like this season a little bit more so far in terms of that.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Also, I think that other dimension is definitely Earth X. I feel like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Is that everyone thinks that apparently one of the extras in the on that alternate Earth did a Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and she confirmed that it was only like white passing people that she saw on set in that entire scene. So she's like, yeah,
I
those
think
theories have definitely like credibility to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely Earth
I don't
X.
think
I
James
imagine
Gunn
we'll
would
be
just be like,
back
I
there
only want
soon.
white extras. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the vibe James Gunn
I'm
definitely
waiting for
gives
the
off with this diverse
for-
show. That he's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm excited to see where that whole alternate Earth
Yeah.
thing goes. Even like I liked his theory that he was switched with the other Peacemaker
I like that too.
and stuff like that.
yeah.
What do you think about the whole scene where he talks about how Augie didn't invent the unfolding chamber, which kind of everyone thought he did, but when she asked about the helmets, he's like, it's a long story. Like, do we think that there's some bigger reveal with that coming?
I don't know if they're gonna. I never really got the vibe they were gonna explain that. But
Yeah,
I like the reveal that Augie's just kind of a dumbass.
Yeah.
which
I
makes
feel like
sense
we
because he
shouldn't
kind of
give
is.
credit to the racist.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciated the reveal that like yeah he just kind of stumbled upon this shit.
Yeah, I saw a theory that someone might have coerced him or coerced someone into making those helmets, like Ted Cord or something like that. However,
That
he
would
would
be a
have done that,
pull. That would
you
be a
know.
pull.
That would be
If they
funny.
put, when they pull Ted Cord into this, that would be insane. And
Yeah.
he's played by Ted Lasso. That would be
But
insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
Jason
yeah,
Sudeikis would eat that.
there you go. But I'm
there.
excited
I feel
for
like
the
that's bound
next
to
one.
happen.
I think the next one's gonna leave a big cliffhanger to because 6 and 8 are supposed to be the big ones, so 5 should
Is
end
that?
pretty
I
strong.
thought it was 7 and 9, or there are only 8
There's
episodes.
only 8, yeah.
Oh, so is next week is or this week is the last one the press saw, right?
No, next week is.
No, this week is because it's 5.
Yeah,
This week.
isn't this week 5?
We just watched 4.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true.
Bro, we are on 4. I wrote it down.
Let me because I don't think you're right.
Yeah, Josh.
I'm not arguing right now over this. I don't got time for this.
I'm gonna
Josh,
put this on. I'm gonna put this on Jalen, bro. I'm gonna put this on Jalen.
I'm
Jalen
alive.
would
Why-
die.
hold on, I'm
Jalen
on
would die in
IMDb,
that
bro.
situation.
I'm
Low
alive.
key, no. This one's 5. This one's 5. Fuck you.
I'm
This
alive.
next one's 5. Eat my
I'm
dick.
alive.
This next one is 5. Jalen,
No,
listen.
I said
Oh no.
you said is this week's one.
This week It is Monday, sir. It is
I
Monday.
thought you were talking about
It
like
is
the one we were
Monday, sir.
talking about.
Jalen
No,
is
I am
alive.
talking
Whatever,
about
bro.
Jalen
this
is
week.
alive.
I'm moving the fuck on, Jackson.
No, because that would be last week's Peacemaker.
I'm moving
It's
on, bro.
Monday. Happy Monday.
Anyway, we
Go
had
to
the
your
same
fucking job.
we had the same thought, bro.
We did. But point being, this next episode is the last one the press saw, right?
Yes. So
Okay.
we should get an interesting end.
Yeah, it's
This
probably
next
going to
one.
end on a massive cliffhanger then. And I imagine next week's probably when we're going to start seeing like Superman cast members that are like
Probably Superman.
Maybe.
Probably Superman. For sure, Superman.
I think they save him for the finale. I think we see Lex next week. Although like aren't some of Lex's lackeys supposed to be in this too?
Why would we see Lex in
Yeah.
this next week?
Well, there's that whole scene in the trailer where he's like, I'm going
That'd be
to Belle
interesting.
Reeve.
Yeah, to get Judo Master.
What?
Wasn't that what that was? I thought that already happened.
No. Judo
Oh.
Master just showed up.
I thought they recruited him from Belle
No,
Reeve. I
that
thought he went
happened
to prison.
Flag does not go to Belle Reeve in this last
No,
episode.
he just showed up in the van.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. In the trailer, there's a clip where Flag is like, tell Belle Reeve I need to go talk to a prisoner. Like, that's gonna be Lex.
Oh.
Lex.
I remember
Like,
that being in the
asking about, like,
trailer.
the
I thought
portal
that already
dimension
happened
stuff.
though.
No, that's going to be Lex. Like, there's, right? I mean, who the fuck else would it be?
Some creature commandos person. I don't know.
It's gonna be King Shark.
Yeah. There you go. It's gonna be Bloodsport,
Clayface.
bro.
It's gonna be Sean Gunn as Calendar Man.
Bloodsport.
Bro. Yeah,
We're
you're right.
definitely on
Then.
Halloween
We
in the
might
middle of this
see
Peacemaker season.
Lex. That's a big
Because
pull though.
Otis is in this season. We know this. We've seen him in the trailers.
Did we?
I think, unless I'm hallucinating.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I think next week is when we probably start seeing a plethora of people from the hit movie Superman.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't think they need to overdo it though.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think they will, but
Yeah.
I guess Lex would make sense considering he also has
It's
holding stuff.
It's also really convenient because they were literally filming on like the same lot.
No, that's
at
what.
the
Like,
same
I'm
time.
sorry,
So
James
it's
Gunn is
very
not going to
convenient.
be able to resist that opportunity. Like,
Yeah.
who would? I'm sorry. Like, if you were in Gunn's position, you'd want to do that. Like, I fucking would. Like, I'm sure he does too.
Yeah.
Like,
Especially because this would be like, the biggest power move because he was, previously he was told who he could and couldn't have. He's the head of the
yeah,
company now, and he would have
he
your
can do
biggest
whatever the fuck he
yeah,
wants.
he would have your biggest like flagship character in a show when you can't like literally just because you can. Like you can have Lex Luthor and
Yeah,
Superman and not bat an eye.
yeah.
You
You
know?
can put Superman in a show with an extended orgy sequence, and nobody can stop you.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It's even like
Yeah.
for season 1, you have to hide Superman's face because you don't know
Yeah,
who's in
Exactly.
cast, and now season 2, you can just fully show him
exactly. It's
interacting.
great.
Okay, maybe I do like that theory then that Lex shows up. I just thought
And
that's
I think
what.
they should let Lex say fuck personally, but
Yeah, I dead ass thought that Bell Reeves scene like already happened.
yeah, no, that shit did not happen.
Maybe I just hallucinated, bro.
Also, just a question: when are
No.
we seeing Waller again? Do you think? Like, not in this, obviously not this season, but like, do you just think we'll see Viola Davis again in the foreseeable future?
Her show,
Maybe
I
not
guess.
till her show.
Lanterns.
You think it's going to be Lanterns? That's an interesting theory, actually.
Just because that's extraterrestrial and it
Yeah.
seems like it's heavily on Earth.
That's interesting.
So that one is kind of like a 50-50 shot.
Grounded,
Like
so,
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her, but I also wouldn't be disappointed if we did.
I miss Viola Davis dearly.
Exactly, and I think when you have Aaron Pierre, like if you have a scene between Aaron Pierre and Viola Davis, that would do numbers. Just because of how big Aaron Pierre is right now, and Viola Davis is Viola Davis. So you want to kind of for marketing purposes, and plus it would make sense thematically if it's an extraterrestrial, threat, and we still have yet to know what's going on in Waller's show. I'm sure that she would have somebody on this because nothing goes by without her knowing. You know what I mean? She has her hand in everything.
Like, I know we'll see her again at some point. I'm just kind of like eager to get her back in the game because I do think she's wonderful in that role.
I think out of all the announced projects, if we were to see her in the next year, it would probably be Lanterns, more than likely.
Okay.
I wish she was in this show. I feel like this makes the most sense.
That's what I'm getting at. Like, I really wish she was in the season. I get why she's not, but
why is she not?
Because they need to do because they're doing the revenge story with Flag Senior. Like,
I guess, but I still feel like she could be present, maybe with like Adebayo being one-on-one scenes.
Yeah, and she wasn't she was in the first season for like a minute, like
over Zoom calls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really want her to get back in the game. I do miss her. Anyway, sorry, I'm side tangenting.
No, it's relevant. The fact that her and Daniel Brooks have not had a face-to-face scene in either of these seasons is kind of ridiculous to me. I feel like that should change.
Yeah,
I would agree.
I just love how petty she is. Like, you have someone who didn't even out you, and yet you blackball them from every federal
I think that's great.
on your way out. That is
crazy.
so perfect.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, even with Viola Davis in here, I'm like, yeah, that's great. I need her back in the game.
I didn't listen to the podcast this week for the
Tim Meadows,
one, but I listened to but I listened to last week's
I gotta
one,
watch it.
And James Gunn was talking about the outtake from the Suicide Squad where
I saw
Joel Kinnaman's flag says that like Waller's shirt looks like puke, and that's what sends him to Corto Maltese. And James Gunn's like, yeah, that's canon. That's why Flag gets sent to die. And I'm like,
that's so funny.
So it's her fault, not Peacemaker.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, man, but not a really
go after her then. That would be.
Well, yeah, that's the thing is that everyone has been saying it was Waller. It was Waller. He was just following orders. He was following orders, but needs someone to blame. So it's just kind of a thing of like Waller's the one that made the order, but you're the one that took it through.
Yeah,
type of thing.
Right.
Yeah. Well, no, he still should be wrong. He's still wrong for killing Flag.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, not a super exciting episode, but I'm excited for next week and the weeks to follow. I think they're going to be a lot stronger. Some miscellaneous news I got for you guys. Peacemaker Fortnite skin, just as cool because now I own another Fortnite skin. And I love spending money. Man of Tomorrow.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
For the viewers, recently I played Fortnite with our co-host Josh, Jackson's roommate Lonnie, and one of our guests Luis. It was a really fun time. We'll be doing it for the pod. You're hearing
I wasn't
it here
invited.
You weren't, bro.
you will be hearing it here first. You're hearing it here first. We will be playing Fortnite for the pod at some point.
Yeah, we will at some point when we figure out how to do that logistically. And I'll wear my Peacemaker skin because it'll be sick.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
and Jackson will be invited this time.
Jackson will be invited. Great. He can play on his Nintendo Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kristen Milioti won Best Lead Actress in a limited series for The Penguin. That was our last Penguin win. That led The Penguin to 9 Emmy wins total.
Yeah, very well deserved.
Yeah, I loved that win. I was kind of hoping for a Colin Farrell win. Stephen Graham ended up winning that. I've not watched Adolescence, so maybe it's completely valid. But I think overall, like Penguin did pretty much exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, no, I mean Kristen Milioti, I was rooting for her. She's the best performance in that show, in my opinion. So it was lovely to see her get her flowers.
Yeah. That one was great, and then I love that prosthetic makeup got a win just because we finally got some recognition because it wasn't going to get an Oscar win.
Penguin.
So
I mean, it's still. I mean, this is the Academy, so Academy Award-winning makeup for the Penguin. That's great.
Literally, dude.
Academy Award-winning series for writing Star Wars Andor, baby.
There you go.
Yes, I'm savoring this because this is, dude. We're all gonna be. Like by the time we drop dead, we're never going to see a Star Wars show win, or just a Star Wars anything win an Academy Award for writing again. So I'm savoring this while I can.
You say that, bro. When
me out of his ass. What was it?
You say that when Maul Shadow Lord is right around the corner. What are you talking about?
Right.
What is that? What is that?
My bad, guys.
What is Maul Shadow Lord? What is that?
The Darth Maul animated show, bro.
Is that a thing? Is that an actual thing?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Like next year, I think.
What? Oh man,
that could be really good.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm excited to see Jack's reactions to that.
Yeah. Anyways,
I just love Sam Witwer, so I can't complain.
He's great.
There you go. Man of Tomorrow's expected to film April 2026. That was heard directly from James Gunn's mouth, which is good. Keep everything on track. It'd be nice to see some stuff, which means they'll probably get some more casting soon.
Yeah, I would imagine by the end of the year that stuff's really going to be rolling out,
which will be fun. I hope we get some new characters in there to.
You know what's interesting is like we should be getting casting for this and Batman 2 kind of around the same time, shouldn't we?
Oh, that's right.
Because Reeves also said
filming at the same time.
Reeves said they're gearing up to start around the same time. Yeah.
Oh wait, he also said that Kristen Milioti isn't in the movie, which I understand. It doesn't surprise me either.
I don't think Zoe Kravitz will be either.
Yeah. No, I don't think she will be. I never got the impression she was. I think she'll be back in the third one, but I never really got the vibe she was going to be back in this next one. Which again, I'm cool with. I don't think.
And I don't think Colin Farrell will have a big role either.
No, but he didn't have a big role in the first one.
I think it would be cool if it's like a lot of new characters.
He needs to get curb stomped. Hopefully that's his only role in the movie.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah, if he shows up in his outfit at the end of that show, I'll be geeked, bro. Absolutely geeked. Clayface is also filming though, and a few things on the set.
Every DC character ever is being referenced,
which is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's cool.
They have Club Vesuvius, which is where Zatanna performs a lot. Yeah. We saw Flying Grayson's poster. We saw another Joker reference. And also someone on the set spray painted the Robert Pattinson Batman logo, which James Gunn had to be like, dude, that was not.
Oh, that wasn't real? Oh man, I'm late. Low key, no. I was about to rant a little bit about that, but that's good. That's great.
No, he debunked it, but it's very much giving like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man art on Morbius.
Yeah,
like that type of vibe.
Yeah,
I love all their references though. I mean, like why not?
Cool. Like again, I When this movie was announced, people were kind of quick to compare it to the Sony Spider-Man movies, but I think something that this has that the Sony Spider-Man spinoffs don't is the titular character. It has Batman, or will have Batman.
Exactly.
But we know Batman is coming, so it's like Clayface isn't just wandering around fucking New York without any semblance of a DC universe going on. Clayface is being dropped into a functioning DC universe, and I think that's exciting.
Or even like where they're having the clubs from like Black Canary or
Yeah.
Zatanna. It's not like they're
Was there not an
explicitly saying.
Was there not an Iceberg Lounge reference as well? I missed.
Maybe I might have seen
I
that.
think I saw a thing.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
But like
As
that's
in-
just
A
more
lot
of
of
like
Joker
world
stuff
building
I've
than
read.
saying,
As-
"Hey, Zatanna's right here."
yeah, as an actor, I would be very wary about taking on a penguin role. I mean, unless you're like seasoned or whatever, but that would be like a little intimidating.
Well, we don't even need to see Penguin, right? Like, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's true.
if this is a seasoned Batman, he could have already dealt with Penguin.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah, no one's gonna touch Penguin for a while anyway. I
No.
don't think,
Unless they do merge, but
No.
I don't. That's looking less and less likely by the day.
if you do Penguin, you got to do like Danny DeVito weird shit again.
Yeah.
That type of vibe.
Also, just worth noting that this movie's being
Like
shot
Gotham.
by the legendary Rob Hardy, which is very exciting. He's also shooting Woman of Tomorrow.
What has he done?
That is exciting.
He's done Mission Impossible Fallout, Ex Machina, Civil War, Annihilation.
That's good. Yeah, that's
some
good.
other stuff. He's a really, really talented DP. So he is a great person to have on board for a project like this.
That's exciting. He's Alex Garland's in-house guy.
Yep. And again, he's shooting both the DCU movies next year.
Yeah. It looks great from everything I've seen so far. Like I see exactly the vibe.
Yeah, the lighting looks really sick.
I kind of know exactly how this movie's gonna like feel vibe-wise and tonally. And I'm very ready. It's gonna be, I think, similar to Joker, but maybe with less of the edgelord stuff.
And probably just embracing the wacky a little bit more.
Right. But definitely, it's going to have the similar level of grunge.
Yeah, which I love. The grunge in Joker is one of the better parts of that movie.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Yeah. I don't know, like the budget for this one. Do you think we're going to see him like fully transform?
I think it's like 50 million. Is that right? Let me look it up. They said what Hollywood Reporter reported what they're spending on this thing. Give me a sec. Clayface budget.
I would hope to see him fully
mid $40 million range.
Less than the
that's a high end horror movie.
I would hope to see him fully transform, but maybe it'll be more in darker lighting than like full on.
So just for reference, Nope cost $68 million.
Mm-hmm. How much did the substance cost?
Oh.
That's your actual reference.
Give me a sec.
Sure.
Do you guys
$17.5 million?
Wow. Okay, then they can do the stuff in Clayface.
Yeah, they'll be fine. That's a lot of money to work with.
Do you guys think that we will see the Batman at all?
No.
I think we will hear about him, but I do not think we will directly see him.
Okay.
Not unless they know who they're they cast.
I think if we do see him, it'll be very quick. It'll be an ending type thing, and it'll be a silhouette. It won't be the actual actor. Kind of like
Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be sick as fuck, though, if they knew who they were using as Batman, they're about to film, and Clayface is how they reveal him?
That's what I'm getting at. I think they already know who's playing Batman. I very much think they already know, and I think Gunn is just playing coy. I kind of think so.
Even if even though they don't have a script set in stone, you think they know?
Yes, because I kind of feel like we're going to see Batman before his movie.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
That's just I don't know why. I don't have any evidence to back this up. I just kind of feel like Gunn knows who's playing Batman.
I don't know, man. I think this is one of the hardest decisions of Gunn's life. Is this whole Batman?
Probably.
figuring out who's
I
gonna
bet
play
we-
him, figuring out
Yeah,
the
we would have
story,
heard
all that other
about
stuff.
front runners and stuff.
No, I don't necessarily
not
think that's
necessarily.
true. Because like when
You
Millie
usually
Alcock
get
got
more
cast, we
about
just
for the
heard, oh,
Superman.
Millie Alcock's playing Supergirl. Like we didn't hear about the front
Well,
runners and shit.
well,
No, you did.
but
Did we?
say, yeah,
Yes, because the girl that played
No.
her in the animated Tomorrowverse
Meg
movies.
Donnelly. Yep, Meg Donnelly.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
someone
well,
else was
Yeah,
maybe
running that.
maybe I'm a
it was
liar
between
and a
her.
fraud.
You are a liar and a fraud.
Shit.
We're
Yeah.
gonna hear about like people. That's why we always hear shit about the Brandon fucking Sklenar guy, but we don't. He's not actually like
Well, no,
in
I don't think
talks
it's
or
him.
anything.
I don't know. I don't know why. Part of me,
It's not
I don't
good.
know. I'm just being geeked. I
Dude,
just kind of
yeah.
feel like Gunn has an idea of who's going to play Batman.
Batman
'Cause
doesn't just get secretly cast and being put on hold for months.
well,
That just doesn't
but
happen.
I don't know. Maybe he isn't. Maybe my point being, maybe he isn't Clayface. I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but they wouldn't cast if he's in Clayface like
Jensen
that. They wouldn't
Ackles, I
cast
don't
him till
They
Jensen
should put
Ackles.
they should put Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen. They should get Jackson Wells in there.
Seth
They
Rogen's
should put
Batman.
Jack Black.
Jack Black. I don't know, man. I saw this.
I really have
thing
no
that-
idea who would
that-
be Batman anyway. That's hard.
But yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Clayface though. I like body horror. This sounds cool. The sets look cool. I'm there. I'm seated.
I see people keep trying to go for like more underground actors, but every other Batman actor has been a big notable actor. So I feel like it's going to be someone notable, or maybe not. Maybe he'll like switch things up.
I
But,
feel
like,
like that
Robert
would be the
Pattinson-
time. Yeah, I don't know.
Robert Pattinson,
Maybe.
Ben Affleck, Christian Bale, like these have all been like big
Yeah,
names. So
The
People,
only fan cast that I really want is Adria Arjona as Wonder Woman. That would be really cool. Just seeing her over her recent projects, like
I can see that.
Andor season 1 specifically, just because I haven't seen season 2.
I was about to say, why season one specifically, Jalen?
Season 2?
I haven't seen season 2 at all, so I don't know where she goes. I've heard she kills.
Peak.
I've heard
Jalen's
she kills. Jackson isn't telling me to watch it for a while, so I gotta.
No, he's
lock
been
in.
like, oh, I'm gonna do a chronological binge, and I kept telling him, no, you're not, Jalen. You're not doing that. Sure enough, he has not made it through the Clone Wars.
But even like seeing her in like Hitman, and
yeah,
I've heard she's good in Splitsville.
Very great in Splitsville.
Yeah. So I
Splitsville,
mean,
yeah.
she's been on a run lately. So that's the only like big fan cast that I'm really a fan of. Every other fan cast is just kind of boring. Like, toss it up. There are so many unknown actors out there who could probably kill these roles.
Yeah.
You know.
so we'll see, man. Last thing, which is like not fun, but apparently Paramount, who just recently had that Skydance merger, is already preparing to buy Warner Brothers, like, or at least like submit a bid. I think I talked about it before with you guys, but Warner Brothers is planning to like split their assets up into two groups.
Mhm.
So like maybe those can be
They're doing
absorbed
it
by
Fox.
other companies. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the whole thing. We always knew with David Zaslav, he would come in for a little bit, get things back on track, I guess, financially, literally did not care what he was shaving off. That's why Batgirl got canceled, all that stuff, and then get out with all his money when he could.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that Paramount is going to be able to. I think there's a lot more, like, there's going to be maybe government interference and monopolization that kind of affects that. But I definitely think,
Is there?
I don't know. That's a
in the
big,
year of our Lord 2025, is there really, Josh?
that's a big ass merger, bro.
Yeah, but like, is he gonna do anything?
Maybe not, bro.
Is he gonna do anything?
Probably no. Honestly, he is in good with the
This
Paramount.
is the CEO of capitalism, Josh.
That is fucking true, bro.
This
Anyway, though, my
is
point is,
capitalism final boss.
I think within a year, WB is going to be owned by someone else or in a different state, which kind of sucks. We kind of just got settled in with some new WB stuff, and especially with James Gunn. So I don't want to see like some new guy come in and be like, "Hey, DC Studios will shut you down for a little bit" or something like that.
Also, just like on a broader level, not very good to see one of the few major studios.
Oh, it's depressing.
Sucked into something else. Like it just
Like
keeps fucking happening, and it's. distressing to watch, to say the least. I mean, this is a broader film industry thing, right? I mean, Fox was just like devastating when that happened. Like, you hate to see this just continuously fucking happen. Because at some point, like, it's gonna get to a point where it just implodes, and you don't want that.
Yeah, like MGM is gone, Fox is
Mm-hmm.
gone.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers is honestly one of the most not they've made a lot of mistakes modern, but like they were one of the most
Legacy
respected and long
studios,
lasting.
yeah.
And even like we've been talking about how well they've had a run this year, just because they still have a lot of really talented creatives at that studio. To see it just kind of like a Paramount of all people, Skydance and all that shit.
And my thing is, wasn't Paramount going bankrupt? Like, how the fuck do they have the money to buy
This is
Warner?
it's the Skydance people that came in and bought them out.
Oh, that's right. Well, yeah, Paramount got bought, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. Gee, I can't
And
fucking keep track.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, that's what I'm saying. Everyone's getting
We
fucking
got that Mission
bought, bro.
Impossible money.
The only thing is if these merged, I would hope that they just use HBO Max and killed the fuck out of Paramount Plus, because that streaming service sucks ass.
That streamer service is terrible, dude.
But
yeah,
there's so
Dude.
much.
It is awful.
The worst UI,
Yeah.
no content,
None.
ass. It is
None.
awful.
Peacock is better.
Peacock is better. Peacock has TED. Paramount
And
Plus
Poker
has
Face, yeah.
Paramount Plus has crashing and bugs
Poker Face.
and depression.
Wait, but Paramount Plus is SpongeBob.
Dude, I can fucking
That's
watch
big news
SpongeBob
if you're
if I go to the
5.
library.
Dead ass. Like,
Hey, SpongeBob is for all ages. No, I will not tolerate any SpongeBob slander around here. SpongeBob is for all ages, Jackson.
all right.
I fuck with SpongeBob.
I do fuck
Exactly.
with SpongeBob. I like
Exactly.
Bob. I like Bob.
Jalen, turn on YouTube and you'll find fucking SpongeBob.
Yeah,
I would love
like,
to
I
see.
can just look up SpongeBob funny
Put that
moments.
shit on there for
like,
free.
I want to see one of
It's
these major streaming
It's there.
services gone, because I'm sick of paying for 7 different ones. I'd rather pay for
Well-
like 3.
Well, why don't you just get the Hulu Disney Plus Max bundle for like $30?
That's still paying for all of them.
Capitalism bundle. That's what it is.
Bundling them isn't my issue. My issue is that they exist as separate
Yeah.
things.
That's true.
I want like 4
Hulu's
things.
going
I
bye-bye
don't want
next year, though, right?
8 of them.
So,
Oh yeah, if Hulu and Paramount Plus disappear and it's just like HBO Max and Netflix and Prime and Disney, that's fine.
That's scary stuff, man.
And Apple TV. Apple TV needs to
Amazon
be in
and
there
Disney.
just for severance. Severance. Let that stay.
No, Apple TV has a
I
good
need my season
catalog
3.
of original stuff, which is good.
Yeah, but no, it is scary. I think the only people that really haven't been involved in any major mergers lately have been Sony.
Yeah. Although they've had their own share of issues.
They've had their own share of issues, but I don't know. This is
I
a
don't
lot
know
of
how they haven't after the train wreck
because they make bangers.
That's a great
bro.
question.
I've never seen back-to-back losses so much in like the span of a year and a half from a studio.
Oh
And
my
nothing
god.
changes.
Well, they
Might
put
be-
out one Spider-Man movie and they make $2 billion. So.
Yeah, exactly. There's going to be another $2 bajillion to Sony next
That
year.
is true.
They'll be fine.
That next one's gonna break $1 billion. It's gonna happen.
Oh, easy.
next year and the year after, if Beyond actually makes its date.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's Spider-Verse. Oh god, that's gonna.
Yeah. But anyways, that's all I got for this week. Next week
I
we're
want
gonna
my
talk
Spider-Verse
about
movie, so.
we're gonna talk about Batman Aztec, the new one that's coming out. But
That's
Giancarlo,
next week. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Giancarlo, thank you for
That's
joining us,
exciting.
man.
Can't wait.
Can't wait.
I'm so excited.
wait.
Yeah, of course.
I'm
Can't
so
wait.
excited. That's gonna be amazing. We should get Abby. We should get Abby on that one.
Okay, goodbye.